The Senate Intelligence Committee was already investigating Russian efforts to meddle in the 2016 election, but yesterday the president opened a whole new set of questions by accusing his predecessor, President Obama, of wiretapping Trump's campaign headquarters. And this morning, the president has asked congressional committees to investigate. We're going to try and sort through all of this today, and we begin with the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, Virginia's Mark Warner. Senator, let's start with the claims by the president. He tweeted that on Saturday that he had just found out Obama had my quote-unquote wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. He called it McCarthyism. What do you make of this?
Well, John, let's step back for a moment and look at what we do know. We know that we've seen an unprecedented attack by a foreign adversary, Russia, in terms of meddling in our election. We saw before the election 1,000 internet trolls trying to use and place false information. We saw manipulation of certain algorithms so that if you Googled certain items, you got Russian news, RT news, other false news. We saw the selective hacking into DNC and individuals that then try to leak that information to benefit Mr. Trump. We also saw before the election an unusual change in the Republican platform to favor Russia. We saw Mr. Trump himself encourage the Russians to hack into Hillary Clinton, and we saw this just unusual affection that the president seems to have, where he won't say anything bad about Vladimir Putin. And since the inaugural, we've seen the resignation of the National Security Advisor and the recusal of the Attorney General because of contacts with the Russians. Now we have this unsubstantiated claim made by the president, which shows in a certain way that the president doesn't understand how you obtain a wiretap. You have to go before a judge and show either probable cause or, if it's in terms of foreign intelligence, a FISA court, and show that there is evidence of some type of contact with a foreign adversary. So what I find so strange, and I thought the president's comments could no longer surprise me, but boy, this one yesterday surprised me. To make that type of claim without any evidence is, I think, very reckless.
Do you think there is let's stick to the president's claim first and then go back to the other list you made. Do you think there is any FISA court order? This morning on Meet the Press, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper said there was no FISA court order.
I'm not aware of any FISA court order regarding the Trump Tower.
Could there have been ones in other kinds of
Listen,
FISA
I'm not going to get
orders?
into what ongoing investigations the FBI might be taking, but I think it doesn't take a Sherlock Holmes to realize with this litany of events and this drip, drip, drip of activities, our investigation, I have to tell you, I've been in public life a long time. There's nothing I've done in my life in public that's as important as trying to get this investigation done right and bipartisan and get the facts out to the American people.
The president's claim, could he just be going off of something in a Breitbart report, or do you think he has access to, he has access to the best possible intelligence?
He has access to the best possible intelligence.
So which is this, do you think?
I think time will tell, but I am not aware, as General Clapper has said, of any kind of FISA order that was somehow, in effect, bugging Trump Tower. But I feel like this, again, feels like an attempt where the president is trying to distract us by throwing out
if he's distracting,
unsubstantiated information, which, again, if the president is correct and he says there's nothing here, then he should welcome this investigation, because what we will do...
Have you seen any connections between the Trump campaign and the Russians?
We are early into this investigation. We have our staff out looking at information at Langley. I'm going to go out this week. We're going to have unprecedented access to all of the intelligence.
Meaning the FBI intelligence as well, because your House counterpart says the FBI is holding back.
All of the intelligence that is appropriate. We're going to get to all of that. I know my colleagues on both sides of the aisle will look at this. And one of the things that gives me pride that this is happening, I've seen colleagues on the committee, Republican colleagues like Susan Collins and Roy Blunt, Marco Rubio, all make public statements saying they are committed to not having this being interfered by politics and us getting to the bottom of it and getting the facts.